Are we still waiting?
I think he was doing a sound check.
Okay.
Check.
Check.
We are here. Good afternoon, ladies. Thank you for joining us on the Tuesday Tea Time.
Tea time.
Tea time. This is Christina, and I'm Kate. And for those of you who have maybe not met us face to face, or we just want to introduce ourselves, but this we just want to come to you today, and our goal for these tea times are just for a time of connection, a time for you if you're online and you see us pop on, or you can save them for later, but that you would just be like, I'm gonna go watch this because maybe you are home with your kids and you feel like you have no time for connection outside the house, or maybe you're working a lot, but we want these to be times of like life for you. They're not going to be terribly long. They're going to be, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending on who's leading. But we just wanted to bring you, joy. And so that's what we are here today to bring you some joy, encouragement, maybe some
Laughter.
I
don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Some tea. Go grab some tea.
Yep.
Cuddle up or don't. Just listen. Whatever.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's what we are here to do this afternoon.
Yeah. But me and Kate were just talking recently, we're going to have a meeting, and then it kind of just turned into a conversation of us just being honest with one another. But I think it's come out of a place of us like having to learn how to be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
And we're not naturally either of us good at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just thought like today we would just talk about that process of what does it look like to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And even right now in the season, we're experiencing things opening up again, and we're seeing people that maybe we haven't seen for months or interacted with. And the like, hey, how are you feels cheap. Because the standard response is like, I'm good, I'm fine, it's great. Well, and it's been 9 months or 10 months of life that we've missed with a lot of people. And so how do we answer the like, how are you? Honestly, maybe if not in a conversation, at least in our hearts.
Yes. And I think as we were talking, I kept that's the exact same thing, just going, I want to be honest with people. Like I want to say, oh my goodness, it's been hard. It's been, I've had moments where this is not fun, and but then I don't want to be such a downer, but then how do we be honest and within boundaries and all that stuff as we share our own stories, and so it just got us thinking. And I know for myself, I am learning to be more honest with myself so that I can be more honest with those around me, and of course, this is not just all about Jesus, but and then being honest with Jesus about how I really am feeling. Yeah. And there's a lot of times where I kind of just want to like fake it until I make it, and that phrase, I've tried that. And then usually it never works out really well. Like I can't. And I think there's something in me because I want to be authentic. I want to be honest with myself and with others that I'm just like, I can't fake it till I make it. Like this is, if you know me, like I sometimes say crazy things, because I just want to be as completely honest and authentic to myself and to my own heart. And so I think embracing myself, even in this season and the last year or, 9 months, embracing the difficulties and not shying away from them and like coming face to face with that and saying, okay, this or, has been hard. And I have to be okay with that. Yeah. So I think it's,
What was like, I can share for myself, but like, what was that a moment where you're like, I have to like learn how to be honest with myself? Or
the first thing that just comes to my mind, it was actually preparing for our face-to-face event. And I'm leading with a small team to prep for the event and ideas. And I remember going to the meeting going, I feel like I have nothing to give at this time. Like I honestly, like I wanted to cancel face-to-face. Like I felt at the end. And I talked to Ryan about it, and he said, I think you should share with these women who you have friendship with. And I said, well, that's probably a good idea. And then I got to the meeting and we just jumped in to where I thought, no, I'm fine. I'm just gonna push
through.
Yes, push through. And did the whole meeting and then drove home crying because I felt like I was, now responsible for more things and feeling like I can't do this. And so I got home, told Ryan, and he was like, okay, well, what are you going to do about that? And I did not sleep well that night and everything. And so then the next morning at like 5:30 in the morning, I just got out of bed and sent them all a message and just came honest to myself, but then also to them. And honestly, it like changed something within even our dynamic and how we led face to face and how we went in going, we're not going to lead from like this fake it till I make it, or like just try, just do it. But I fought against
like
myself.
Breaking moments.
Yes.
We're both 9s on the Enneagram, so we're both like, don't
keep
break the peace.
Yeah.
Like everything's fine. I'll just be everything that I need to be to whatever people are expecting me to be, I'll be and form to and whatever, so that we keep the peace. So but it's so cool how vulnerability really, when we are vulnerable with ourselves and then with others, it allows like the atmosphere to change and for other people to be vulnerable as well. It kind of like breaks that ice, because I think a lot of people, whether you're a 9 or not, you function in this like I don't know, wheel of just keeping things going constantly.
Yeah, and you don't want to show any weakness. Like you feel like, don't show weakness. And then the Lord's like, stop. Like that is not okay. And so, is there something that with this conversation, with thinking about this?
I don't know. I just know recently I've had a lot of breaking moments where I'm just like, okay, like I'm usually just super cool and chill and whatever, like happy. And just with life, me and my husband are fostering. My husband's been sick for months now, like just he had a spider bite, and it's not COVID, he's negative, people, it's fine. His just gut is messed up. And I've had to, like, even yesterday, there was some parents that came to check out their kids at church, and they were like, how are you? And I was like, not super good, but that's life. And it felt so awkward to like, I could feel them like be like, oh, I didn't expect that. But it was also so freeing to just be like, I don't have to say I'm fine. But it's taken a lot for me to like get to that place of like being honest. Like I feel like now there's a lot of parts that I'm just realizing of my life that I don't have control over as much as I want to have a say or an influence, like unless that's asked of me, like a lot of times my opinion doesn't matter anymore when you've got teenagers or
and you're trying to
a grown husband and I'm realizing like, wow, as much as I maybe want the best for people, like they also have to choose it. And that's that was like a huge, I think, realization for me is that like I wouldn't consider myself a controlling person, but I'm like realizing like my control is like, no, I see where this is going and it ain't good. So like, let's make it happen so that you just don't have to deal with the fallout of your actions or, and I still don't have control over that. So like even people's best. And that's a really hard place for me to be, especially, I don't know, caring about people. I'm like, I don't like watching you go down this road. And that's what's really heartbreaking. But I don't even know what I'm saying. I think just learning to be honest with that and then like showing up in that and letting people see like, that it's worth it, but it's not always fun and it's not easy, you know? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to show up strong and I'm going to give my best every day, but sometimes like my best is a weak yes or like a crummy attitude or just frustration. But I think allowing people to see that is like huge. And it was really awkward when I said that. I was like, well, I did it.
No, I love that because I think even with all that we've been experiencing within COVID in this last year almost, where we have been in isolation and we haven't been around people as much, and it might feel awkward, but I think what we are all desperately hungering for and needing is that, like, show up. I want to know who you are and how you are doing, even though it might be like, oh, I was expecting just like, oh, I'm doing great and life is wonderful. But I really believe that within our team, within our community, within our women, that we are okay to go into the hard places or to go, you know what, I'm having a hard time, and you can just leave it at that, and that you don't need maybe like, you know, I don't know, I always want to be like, how can I help you?
I want to fix it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that sometimes it's like, I can't fix it, but I'm gonna be here for you. Yeah. And so thank you for being honest, and that I think my heart, I think for all of us, is that we would feel that permission, or just that that willingness to say, no, I'm okay, but it's been really hard, or, you know, like, it's been really hard, and these are the places, and doesn't mean you have to fix them or anything, but this is how I can be honest for where I'm at, and then we get to show up for each other, you know, because I think so often, if I'm gonna put on like a false front, then you can only come to that false thing, you know, so it's not really me showing up, it's not me being completely honest. And so I know no one wants that, you know. We want the authentic, we want the, well, even if you don't know exactly how I can help you, like, I just want you to just say, show up a little bit, you know. And so
or just, I'm not running away.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Because I think so often it feels easier to run away or to hide. And so we don't want to live in that false identity or sense of, well, you can just come to here and not all the way in. And that's, I mean, it's for, you know, I know that you have a core group of friends, I have a core group, you know, and so there's different conversations that you can have with certain people, but that I think your whole life, you want to be that somewhat like honest with yourself and with others to degrees. And like wisdom. Yes.
But honest.
Yeah.
And I think we even kind of talked about that, like, how do I be honest with people that maybe don't have access to like my whole heart, which is fine to say, like, we shouldn't, but sometimes I feel the tension of like, I want to be authentic, but I don't know how to be authentic without like word vomiting all these things that maybe it's not the proper place or relationship to like share that with. And so then I think I'm definitely learning that that balance.
No, I think that's really good to have those as the Lord leads, and as you just learn with friendships and different people, that balance and the boundaries and different things like that. So
but I was like I was kind of just looking and like asking the Lord for some questions for like myself or for others to like, if this is a culture and a value that we want to set and like model for our community of just authenticity and vulnerability, like what are basic ways that we could foster that? And I was reading this article, it's like a Harvard study or whatever, but that like, how are you is like the crummiest question you could ever ask someone, because it instantly is the like, I'm fine, I'm good. Like,
my gosh.
But even if you said like, how are you today? That like one word totally changes it. Or like, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, it's literally the same question.
But it can kind of even like simplify it down to where it's not this huge, broad question, but it's, how are you feeling? You know, I like that. I think that in this dialogue and if you guys are following along with us, and I think for our women, one of my thoughts, and we had talked about it, but like even with some of these questions, you know, like what are some, I don't know, sometimes I'm so about the practical things, and not that if I will probably say like, how are you doing?
We will say it. So sorry in advance.
Don't be like, hey, you said never say that. but like maybe if you're following along, like comments, you can leave in the comments like, hey, this is what I've been trying to use, or this is a question that I love, or because I think within this circle of women that just kind of, like I said, we're probably not going to say the right thing all the time, but having some key phrases or something that could help, because that just gives space for all of us to either, okay, how can I be honest in this moment? And so it would be fun to kind of hear some of those questions, or even some of your thoughts about how you guys feel with just the question of like, can you be honest with yourself as you begin maybe integrating more into different groups and within coming back to church or within community groups? What does that feel like when we ask you, like, how honest can you be with yourself? I know that because of the quality of women that are in this group and in our community, that a lot of them, you guys have all been on a journey with us. And so there is more authenticity. And, but then I know there's some places where I'm like, I want to be honest here, but not here. And so, like, or even some places I'm learning within my own heart, like, oh, this still feels scary. Like, how can I be honest in this place? And, so if you want to, you can comment or just join the dialogue and the conversation, and that we could just, connect and have that together. So,
yeah. I know for me, like, even just sitting back at night, and I'll journal every night and just be like, okay, how am I doing? Like I don't always know in the moment, but that daily check-in to foster that in my own life allows me to be in tune with myself during the day.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of just like going through life existing or not living or not like connected to myself or and I think even just learning how to be connected to myself allows me to be more aware and connected to the Lord, like just on a moment by moment basis, because I'm in tune with my reality and my life and my influence more. So I don't know, maybe even just practicing that regularly, like, Jesus, help me see how I'm feeling. How am I doing?
Yeah. No, I love that.
It's been helpful for me.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I should probably start. I feel like I'm kind of doing that. I don't write down as much, but I'm trying to practice more of, okay, if I can't be honest here, like, what is it? What am I believing maybe about this situation that feels like this is too overwhelming? Or, so kind of looking at those and then going, well, why am I believing this? Yeah. Why can't I be honest here? And so I guess it's kind of like that. I'm trying to have like more of a head dialogue, but I probably should write down more of that.
I mean, I journal, but I don't always journal my feelings. I'm just saying, like, in the process of me winding down for the evening. But
yeah, no, that's a good.
Yeah, or write them down.
Yeah,
maybe I should. So.
Well, now we're gonna go change our whole. No,
I know. We can't do everything.
Yes, but yeah, I like that. I like this conversation, and so, as we said, just you can comment, and I just want to just tell you guys that in the midst of all the isolation, or we haven't been able to see all of you as often, our hearts are for you guys, and I know it's hard to be like trying to figure out like, who do we text, how do we stay connected, and so this is one of the ways that we're like, well, we can foster some of this through doing these weekly connections, but just always remember, if you need anything, like that we could help you figure something out. I'm trying to fix everybody here now.
Just share how you're doing.
Yeah,
maybe that's just enough.
Yes. Yeah, just share how you're doing, and just for us to stay connected would be incredible. And so,
and if how you're doing is I need you, we're here.
Yes.
But sometimes just letting it out, like verbally being honest, is so powerful.
It's the beginning to something really, really powerful too. Yeah. So, I think that is all we have for this afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed your tea.
Tea time.
Cheers. And we hope to see you next week. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.